3 week 1 games few people are talking about because we're focused on the Sunday night game with the Rams and the Cowboys that NBC will be doing next. And you've got, obviously, the Bucs and the Saints. The Monday nighter. Chris Fowler, who's going to join us on Monday's show prior to calling. By the way, this just in to everybody. He's going to call us Monday prior to. He's going to be fresh off of calling the U.S. Open finals, men's and women's, this weekend. Unfortunately for all of us, Serena will not be taking on Naomi Osaka, which would have been an incredible rematch. She lost last night. Fowler's calling those matches on ESPN this weekend, and then he's calling with Herb Street, Giants and Steelers on ESPN.
That's going to be fun.
So, at any rate, reason why I mention that is we're focused on a ton of games. Here are 3 that few people are talking about because the difference between 1-0 and 0-1 for these games, I think, are pretty darn significant. You could make this case for any of the games, but these 3 I just want to highlight right here. And the first one, there's 2 1 o'clock games and then 1 late game. You could see that game being late, is being lost in every possible late window shuffle. Chargers at Bengals on CBS. And then you've got the Bears and the Lions and the Seahawks and the Falcons. Let's take them one at a time here. I hit it earlier this way. I mean, man, we've been talking Trubisky every single time the Bears come up. You cannot separate the two. You cannot separate the two. This is where the Trubisky rubber is meeting the road. They did not pick up a fifth-year option, and they picked up Nick Foles, and they stuck with Trubisky. I told you they were going to run it back with Trubisky last fall. I said it to you in the winter and the spring, and here we are now 2 days before the Bears visit Detroit, which has a ton of optimism surrounding the 2020 season. I have no idea if DeAndre Swift is going to be ready, or Kerryon Johnson, or Adrian Peterson. That is a total question mark. But what I expect is to see Stafford throwing it all over the place, and later on, hopefully, you'll give me some news on Kenny Golladay, whether he practiced or not, because he seemed to have been held out yesterday.
Yeah.
But offensively, they appear to be ready to roll, if healthy. And Patricia, in his third year there, everyone should be buying in. So the difference between 1-0, like if they just beat up the Bears or they win that game, they're 1-0, 1-0 in division. They keep their, you got to win at home, even though we're talking about no fans or not. Still, it doesn't matter that you've got a home field advantage with fans, really, when it comes to the fact that you have a home field advantage when it comes to the fact that this is a pandemic and the Bears are the ones that had to get on a bus or a small plane flight and stay in a hotel room. You got to take care of business. And boy, do the Bears and Trubisky need to start 1-0. Then you've got Seattle and Atlanta. Who's talking about that one, right? Not nearly enough. I think Seattle wins this division. They came damn close last year, and the 49ers were a half-inch shy of winning it. Right? And going on the road all the way to Atlanta and playing an early window game and coming up with the win is kind of crucial if you think the NFC West is going to be totally competitive top to bottom as I expect it to be. And taking care of an early window W for a West Coast team in a pandemic, that is a huge advantage. Now, being 0-1, I think Seattle could eventually come back from that. But week 2, they've got New England coming into their house, and we have no idea what they're going to look like. And Atlanta, if they lose this one, if Seattle comes in and Atlanta starts off once again on the wrong foot, they visit Dallas next week. There are going to be some fans hooting and hollering in that stadium. So that's a big difference between 1-0 and 0-1. And I'm choosing this one because nobody is talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. Nobody. I know what you are. You've. Well, my apology. I know you've.
My sleeper team.
I know that's true.
Give them credit.
My bad.
But nobody's talking about
but
them.
Except for Rockman.
Right. And the Chargers, another team. At least they don't have to play in the early window, but they've got to come east. It's Tyrod Taylor.
Yep.
If they start out 0-1 now. you don't want to become too far away in the rearview mirror, that object of the Chiefs' rearview mirror, okay?
No,
you need
it's
to
a
win
Ferrari.
games like this one against a team that was first on the clock. Tyrod Taylor or not, no Derwin James, you got to win it. If you want to have a shot in this division, you don't want to fall too far behind the Chiefs, and doing it the first step out of the gate is huge. And going 1-0 and basically showing what you can be, and completing the task that everyone expects you to complete, that's significant. And if you're the Bengals, what if you win this game? What if Burrow comes out with Mixon and A.J. Green and Tyler Boyd and they're winging it all over the place, and Burrow comes out even remotely close to the Burrow that we saw at LSU last year? If Joe Burrow wins this game, Chris Brockman, do you know the last first overall drafted quarterback to start and win his week 1 game? Would you care to guess who that last person
I
is?
do know because I saw it earlier today.
I had no idea. I did not see that stat. I looked it up because, as you know, Kyler Murray tied in his week 1 start last year. And then Jameis Winston lost his week 1 start to Marcus Mariota in 2015. And then, unbelievably, 4 straight years from 2009 to 2012, we saw not only a first overall drafted quarterback, but one that was, in fact, handed the reins right away. Bradford in 2010, Cam in 2011, and Luck in 2012, with Stafford in 2009 starting off that string. They all lost. And then the only other first overall drafted quarterback to get a start in week 1, before that, was Carson Palmer, because, Eli didn't, Jamarcus Russell didn't, Alex Smith didn't. The last first overall drafted quarterback to start and win his week 1 start was David Carr in the first game of the Houston Texans' existence against, how about them Cowboys, TJ?
Always bringing up old stuff.
That's right. How about them Cowboys? So it's tough sledding.
Yeah.
But if Joseph Burrow can come out of the gate and do that, how significant would that be for the Cincinnati Bengals?
I think that would be huge.
So they're flying. Those are 3 games flying under the radar. I could have chosen a handful of other ones. Washington and Philadelphia is one of them.
I don't know what's going to happen in that game.
Nobody's talking about Vegas at Carolina.
Sounds weird.
But I'm just saying, again, the next step for a team that goes 0-1 are pretty darn significant, because the Chargers take on Kansas City at home next.
Oof.
And Kansas City, as we all know, will have that, mini bye. And unless it's a humid day here, Andy Reid is not going to have any fogged up mirror problems in the new Stan Canyon, where I assume it'll be nice climate control comfort.
I got to imagine
in Los
it'll be
Angeles.
basic over there. Yeah.
Chargers better win this one, because they could be 0-2 with a loss at home to the Chiefs just like that. And you might see Justin Herbert lickety-split. I don't know. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.